the Technology Acceptance Model, TAM and TAM2. So why do certain people use certain technologies? What motivates learners, educators, and other stakeholders to accept or reject new educational technologies? How can these motives be influenced by the design features of the technology? And how does acceptance depend on contextual contingencies? In many cases, we find that the success of educational technology hinges on whether it truly delivers value, is perceived as doing so by the instructor or students, and is adopted and used. So this is the basis for understanding TAM. The theory asserts that if a user perceives a technology to be easy to use, and they perceive it to be useful for their needs, they will be more likely to use the technology. Positive perception in both areas contribute to an intention to use, which would lead the users to actual use of the technology. So essentially, the theory looks at soft factors, that is, the human and nonlinear factors which play a role in the technology acceptance. These are things that are going to be subjective and unique to individuals. So for example, if you had a cell phone and you believed that it would be useful in your everyday life, and you found it easy to use, this would influence your attitude towards the technology, which would then influence your behavioral intention, how you intend to use the technology, which would actually impact your actual usage. So TAM is all about behavior and understanding how we use technology and the behavior that we use towards it. It has very little to do with the technology itself. TAM and its associated scale can be applied to situations where individuals are being introduced to a new technology or when they are asked to implement new digital tools into practice. So outlined are two scales, the TAM measurement scales. So table 1 is the initial scale items for perceived usefulness, and the second is the initial scale items for perceived ease of use. So these are the two outlined for what would define ease of use and what would define usefulness. TAM2 becomes more complicated as TAM2 incorporates additional theoretical constructs spanning social influential processes, subjective norm, voluntariness, and image, and cognitive instrumental processes such as job relevance, output quality, result demonstrability, and perceived ease of use. TAM2 was created after realizing that there are external forces that influence the use of technology. So TAM1 and TAM2 are great theoretical frameworks for understanding how technology can be used in the learning environment. Our perception, ideas, and attitudes can impact how technologies are then accepted.